All right. Friendly reminder to everybody here. This is going to be recorded. It's going to go out to the entire world. FYI, we have two purposes for these Hangouts. Number one is I want to empower people to learn how to learn to use LinkedIn. And then the second one is I want people to be excited to go for it. The rules are don't be a jerk. That's pretty much it. And yeah, let's just jump in. So I've got like 3 questions that came in, but I want to give priority always to people who are in here live. So anything top of mind for you guys? Lorraine, Jair, Jess? All right. Man, I'm dealing with a bunch of pros here. Okay, cool. Let me pull up these questions. If something comes up when I'm talking, just if you're here with the mic, just unmute it, or you can throw it in the chat. Totally cool. Okay, so Daniel, Daniel and another guy named Jeff, they were both asking me about using LinkedIn for internships. And there's been a few people too that are in the university world who wanted to know about internships too, because I guess apparently if you're in school, sometimes an internship is required, but the university, at least here in America, they don't give you the internship. You have to find it on your own, which I didn't realize, and I thought was very interesting. So for those of you who are not familiar with the jobs section of LinkedIn, I'm going to share my screen here and just do this. So the jobs section has a few things that you can do for internships, and I'm just going to do a quick search here. Oh, let's say, I don't know, just do marketing, and then I'm going to view all filters. All filters. And this is really, if you're looking for an internship, this is what you're looking for, internship. And if let's keep it to, say Manhattan, apply. You can hone it in a little bit. Some of these internships are going to be free. Some are going to be paid. These guys are promoted, interesting for internships. You can easy apply, which means that you're just going to use your LinkedIn profile to submit the info. Sometimes there's going to be a link where you're going to have to apply. Like if I click this, it's going to take me off of LinkedIn. I'm going to have to submit my info. Sometimes with internships, just because it's a type of job, you're going to find, I'm trying to see if I can find one. There's going to be a person who has said, hey, I posted the job. It's me. If you want to, you can send me an email. Let's see here. There's a company. It's not as common for the person, but there we go. Christopher Dong. So you can't like click his profile. You could find him pretty easy if you especially if you have sales now, but you could find him, or the call to action here is to click and send an email. And then it does a pre-populated message there. So if you're looking for an internship, obviously there's a lot of different ways that you could find an internship. If you're on LinkedIn, this is probably the easiest route to go. And then there's going to be really those 3 things you could do. You could do easy apply. You could apply wherever they have set it up off LinkedIn, or you can email the person if they have associated themselves with the post. If you have a free account and you don't have InMail, you can try to find them just through search for free, and then send them a connection request, and then include a personal message in there. That's a great way if you don't have a paid account, no InMail. So there's that. Any thoughts from you guys here live on internships?
Don't take them if they're not paid.
Don't take them if they're not paid. Yeah. One thing this isn't really related to LinkedIn, but what I am telling people, if you're going to look for an internship, other than, yes, get money, is a lot of people that are applying to be an intern, they've never had to do the hiring. They're pretty entry level. So what I tell them is if somebody is going to look to hire you or even put you in an internship, they're investing money and resources in you. So it might not look like they are, but some employee is giving you their time or whatever. They're slowing down from making money. So it's costing the company money. And what that really means is when a company is giving you an internship, they're looking for ROI, usually. That's kind of in their mind, is what kind of revenue can you bring the company? So if you are going to be applying for an internship, and if those people are going to be looking at your profile, make sure that you communicate to the employer or whoever's going to be giving you the internship. Make sure your profile communicates that you are going to bring the company value, because that's really what they're interested in, is the return on their investment in you. And yeah, there you go. Cool. Good point. Good point, Jess, on unless it's paid, consider ditching it. Creative Circle. I see these guys posting jobs all the time. All right. Any thoughts from the Netherlands, Jer, on internships?
Yeah, here it works a little bit different. Internships are mostly not paid,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes they are, but then people expect that what you bring is really up level already.
Sorry, can you say that one more time? Is already what?
That what you bring is really up level already. So you have to be a sophisticated person already.
Oh.
Hey, Gare, quick question. Like when people do internships where you're at, is the expectation that they'll work at the place then? Or is it just you have to get the experience? Because it used to be that way where you get an internship here and the idea was you were going to work at that place. So you work for free, but it's because you knew in 6 months you'd have a full-time job. It's not that way anymore. Back up, Cheney put out some deregulation laws back in the 2000s that pretty much destroyed that. And so now like a majority of our internships are free because it's wage slavery.
Yeah. Most of the times internships here are part of the school process. You have to arrange an internship yourself, and mostly you get reimbursed for some costs, but you don't get paid fully. And if you do it on your own and you want an internship somewhere, then you have to apply for some different rules. So I don't think it's an even match with what you understand on an internship.
Sure. When you're in the Netherlands, do you find, would a company be posting on LinkedIn for those internships?
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
But mostly they are seeking for free help.
Yeah. That's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it is. All right. All right. Any last thoughts on that before we switch gears?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Next question was from Brian. I got this question from Brian and another guy named Carter. So if you're watching, here you go. How many connection requests can I send per day? Which is a really interesting question. I honestly have not found any official documentation where LinkedIn says this is how many you can send per day. I can tell you I have sent 300, I think is the most I've ever sent in one day. That was all done manually, and my fingers hurt at the end of it. That was before I knew what a macro was. So I've done 300. I'm sure people have done more. I think in the past, the profile view limit was 1,000 profile views per day. And the reason why I bring that up is if you're sending a connection request, a lot of times that's done from the profile. So if the 1,000 views per day is a cap, then you might just be unable to keep sending them per day. For the overall, like looking beyond just daily, how many total connection requests can you send? What I found is it seems like when I hit around 1,800 pending, that's when if I send a connection request, it'll say failed. And the first time it happened, I went, what the heck? Like, am I in trouble? And then I realized I had a lot of pending connection requests just because it'd been a long time, you forget to withdraw them. So I went and withdrawed them. And as soon as you withdraw down to, it seems like about 1,400, you can send more. And honestly, I think that number will change over the years. It'll probably ebb and flow. But in my experience, it's been around 1,800. And it's not like a firm number. It seems like sometimes I can go into the 2,000s pending. Sometimes it's a little bit earlier. So just as a heads up, a good kind of rule of thumb is once you get to about 1,800 pending, then you're going to have to withdraw. I also, this maybe is becoming less important as time goes on. There used to be, when you push ignore on a connection request, on a desktop, there used to be a thing that says, I don't know this person. And if you have too many people push that on your connection request, I don't know this person, you used to get put in the I don't know you or the IDK penalty box. And on a desktop recently, unless this has changed, I've observed when you push ignore on a desktop, you don't see that notification anymore. And if you're on a phone and you push I don't know this person, it's so fast, even if I wanted to touch it, I don't think that I would be able to. So I think the I don't know you penalty box is becoming less of a big deal. But the reason why I bring it up is because what I have done in the past is once a connection request has been pending for about a month or two, because I don't want to be put in the penalty box, because people don't know that if they push I don't know you, that's considered like a spam. And you might have been doing a great job and they're just like, no, I don't know this person. It's like, and you're like, oh my gosh, don't put me in the permanent box. So to try and avoid that, what I have done in the past is once you get to a month or two pending, I just withdraw them for better or worse, just because I don't want an account penalty. And
quick question.
The reason behind that is like what I find myself doing is I'll go after I've got a bunch of pending, I'll just go ... And if I'm going to accept, I do it within a week or two. And I don't want to be part of the ... if my request has been pending for a while. But again, that might change moving forward since that little pop-up is becoming much less pronounced. But per day, I don't have a firm number. Total pending, it seems like once you hit about 1,800, then you need to withdraw. And you can, if you want to be safe, withdraw after a month or two. You guys have any thoughts on that?
One quick question. Is there a time tracker because I haven't had any problems getting accepted yet, knock on wood, but is there when you look at your pendings, does it show how long it's been pending? So
it does.
Okay, cool.
Yep. It'll say it goes by yesterday or today, like minutes today, yesterday, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, and then it goes 1 month and then 2 months and so on. Yep. That's a great question. Jer, you have any thoughts on that?
No, I didn't have any problems with I don't know button. And releasing the pending box, if you have a system for that you do that every week or every month, that you redraw the invitations, you don't get that problem. And 2 months, 3 months, that's about the same period that I use, because after that, people are dead or not active on LinkedIn anymore. So you want to redraw them.
You say they're dead? Yeah.
Yeah. That's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. It happened to me last week. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm messed up. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you there. Sorry.
No, it's no problem. So the 1,800, I didn't reach that amount yet, because here in the Netherlands we have less people, so we have to be more precise in who we invite. Mm-hmm. And about 300, that's the amount that I sent also per day as a max. So I think you can top that, but I don't know why you would that.
Yeah. I think though a situation where you might want to just crank them out is maybe you're doing a trial on a premium account or a trial on SalesNav, and you want to take advantage of some features before the trial expires. That might be a scenario where you want to turn the heat up a little bit. But totally.
Yeah, and people that are just trying out LinkedIn and importing their new contacts from their phone, and I never heard that somebody was blocked right away. Yeah,
for sure. Well, yeah, and LinkedIn wants you to. That's a great point with syncing your contacts. So that when you create an account and stuff, you're going to get prompted left and right to hook up your calendar, your email, your contacts, all that stuff. And a large part of that is because you cannot just send a connection request to anybody and everybody. There are people that are out of network. And when you're first getting started, you're going to have a lot of people out of network. Yeah. So LinkedIn is encouraging new users to bring those connection, those contacts in. And I don't like syncing the contacts and stuff because it does not do a custom message. It just kind of does that generic bloop connect. So for what it's worth, but if you do that, and if it's a brand new account, yeah, you might have 5,000 people that are in your contacts, you know, and then you sync it and then boom, it all goes out. So there are things like that for sure.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard.
When you're setting up a new phone, you have to be careful that you don't go through that process accidentally.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. That's a great point. Okay. Last question is the found you vias. The found you, are you familiar with that? Anybody in here? On the profile views? Okay, great. This is shockingly one of the most common searched for things that I find in my search console, my Google search console. People have no idea what the found you vias mean. So I want to hit this. I'm going to share my screen here so you can see. When you go to who viewed your profile, if you have a free account, it's going to be limited. I have a paid, so you might see a few more things here, but I'm going to do found you via. If I scroll down, you can see where it's highlighted: found you via homepage, found you via my network, homepage, lots of home pages. There's Jer homepage. That's kind of funny. Let's see, found you via messaging, that kind of thing. The profile views, and you can do this. There's interesting view. People work at this company. People work at this company. And depending on, see, found you via messaging, by job title. The found you vias, there's a few. Not all of them are right here. There's going to be found you via messaging, company pages, home page, found you via other, LinkedIn search. No, I'm forgetting one. And I want to do this because I've already kind of done some screenshots. So found you via homepage. That's just a homepage. It's like when you first log in and you see your newsfeed, this is the homepage. And when you're doing, comments or posts or like, share, celebrate, whatever, that's going to put your profile link in the homepage all over the place. And when someone clicks your profile link, you're going to see that they've found you via homepage. Next one, found you via other. Find you via other is essentially LinkedIn does not have a category for it. So assumptions would be the found you via other would be something like maybe the link is in your email signature. Maybe the link is on your website. All the places where people would put your LinkedIn profile link to go directly to your profile, but it's not within the LinkedIn ecosystem. Found you via other. Found you via messaging. Guess what that means? Found you via messaging. Pretty simple. When you're on a messaging thread in the inbox, there's their name and the picture, and you can click it. A lot of times when you're sending a custom message, what'll happen is you might want to view the profile to remember who this person is, what they do, that kind of thing, to make the message custom. So that's where you're going to see a lot of found you via messaging. Found you via my network. That's one of the ones I missed earlier. My network is, you're viewing all of your connections. So someone might be going, oh man, who's in my network for whatever reason? And then they click it like right there. That's found you via my network. Let's see, found you via company page. If someone stumbled upon your LinkedIn company page and they click like the employees, or maybe someone interacted with a post on the company page, then they're going to go to your profile. That's found you via company page. Found you via LinkedIn search. Pretty straightforward. You're in the search results. They click your profile. And let's see, I believe this is the last one. Found you via LinkedIn profile. Found you via LinkedIn profile is like, what? They viewed my profile from LinkedIn profile? What's that? Can you see this right here? It's kind of small. This is something that you can turn on or off. It's people also viewed. And this is the most common place where someone is going to view your profile from somebody else's profile. So if I'm Jer and I'm looking at Isaac's profile, I might go, oh, look at these guys. And I might click Will here, and then I have viewed Will's profile, and that's going to be found you via profile. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing screen here. What I've found the found you via statements are good for is like measuring the nets that you've casted. If you're relying on inbound search, how many found you via LinkedIn searches are you being in? If you do a lot of sharing content and interaction in the newsfeed, how many found you via home pages are you receiving, that kind of thing. So it's like it's like measuring the bar for those different nets that you're casting for your different activity. And you can take those notifications where you've seen that someone's viewed your profile, and you can use them as an excuse to start a conversation. You can, they viewed your profile, view them back, read it, vet it. Maybe you have like there was a person in there where it's like a sales thing, and I go, oh, they viewed my profile. I want to view them back, and I'm thinking, well, if they've got a proposal, I'm waiting for them to sign. Come on. Is it they viewed my profile? Maybe there's some points of friction there, or maybe they're a good lead and you've never talked to them before, or maybe they're wanting to sell you something and you don't want to talk to them at all. So use the profile views. You can use that as an excuse to kickstart good conversations too, and to measure your efforts depending on where the found you bias were. You guys have any thoughts on that to add to that?
The only thing I have to add is that some people on LinkedIn find it disturbing that they can be found that way.
Yeah.
They want to block that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of, I think that's why, there's the option to view profile anonymously.
Yeah.
But sometimes what I'll do, I have an iPhone, and so adding markup, I suppose it's easy on Android too. Adding markup to a picture is really easy. So what I'll do is, if I see someone that I know and I have a good relationship with, and if they've viewed my profile and I see it on my phone, I'll take a screenshot, I'll draw a little arrow saying who viewed my profile, and I'll draw an arrow from that to their picture, and I'll be like, what's going on? And I'll send it to them as a text message or LinkedIn message, and they're like, oh, hi, yeah, I was doing this. But it's kind of a fun, easy way, to do that.
Yeah, it's breaking the ice.
Yeah, exactly. It's breaking the ice for sure. You don't want to be too creepy though.
No.
All right. Any last things here? We're just about at 30 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up. All right, great. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll hopefully see y'all next week. Have a good week.
Have a great week.
See
Bye
ya.
for now.
Bye.